Shoulder spica. So very similar to the hip spica, where you wanted to keep the hip where you wanted to keep it, and you wanted to help with certain motions, and you wanted to restrict certain motions. So for a shoulder, one of the most common ways to injure your shoulder or dislocate your shoulder is to abduct and externally rotate, bend, and go this way. Okay? So he brings his arm up and he goes that way, and then his shoulder dislocates forward. A shoulder spica is really traditionally used for putting a pad on or wrapping ice on. This thing is not going to be the most supportive thing in the world. If you really want support to prevent a shoulder dislocation, then you need to buy a brace. And there's a ton of braces out there on the over-the-counter market that help prevent the shoulder from dislocating, or helping to prevent the shoulder from dislocating. So really the shoulder spica is for wrapping on ice or wrapping on a pad, and in a pinch, you could put this on here in the fashion I'm about to show you to help support the shoulder, but that's not really truly the intent. But I wanted to at least show you that. If you're wrapping on a pad, or you just want some compression around the shoulder, you still have to make sure you do it correctly. And the way to do that is to make sure that when I'm done, I'm going to be promoting the arm to be down and internally rotated, right? Because we don't want it to go up and out. Okay? So if all else fails, just make sure you're following that. And the best way to do that is to start the wrap going in towards his chest. Secure it around the bicep, and then come up and around the backside on top of the shoulder, okay, across his chest, so this arm just stays up. He takes a little breath here if we need to, so we don't cut off his circulation or his ability to breathe. And you come across the top of the shoulder, underneath the arm. So again, I'm pulling it internally and pulling it down. And I come back up over the shoulder, on top of the shoulder, and then spin. Just turn your body so he can see. There you go, and back. Okay. And then I'm not going to have enough wrap here to get all the way around his chest again, so I'm just going to end it up on the bicep. And then I would secure that with terrible elastic tape. So not white tape, because that would be too tight around his bicep. When you secure the wrap to his bicep, probably a good idea for him to make a muscle here in his bicep by contracting his forearm, making that muscle tight, so that when I release or when I get done and he releases his hand, this won't be too tight on his bicep. Okay? So secure that. You don't need to go up and secure up here. You don't want this to be falling off of his shoulder down here when you're done, and you also don't want it so far up that it's cutting into his neck. So you have to find that happy medium of getting it right on the shoulder here. And then, of course, when he tries to pick up his arm, he's going to feel like it's restricted, bringing it up, and it's restricted, bringing it back this way. So we're preventing abduction and external rotation. Okay. Shoulder spica.